Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. This is Kevin Moon from God's Country. It's time for your primetime forecast on Dr. Don's weather. Now, here's my friend, Dr. Don.
Thank you, Brother Kevin Moon, and good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Welcome to another glorious day and a beautiful forecast on the way for you today. And I encourage you to enjoy it because this time tomorrow morning it's going to be downright ugly outside. We'll give you all the details coming up in this morning's edition of your prime time forecast. But first, let me remind you to scan that QR code on your screen or click the link at the top of this video so you can get that cost-free, no obligation insurance quote from our friend Jamie Dukas, your local Alpha agent. Find out just how much money Jamie Dukas can save you today. Don't forget to head over to the YouTube and subscribe to Dr. Don's weather page. It's free. And click that little bell so that if we go live for severe weather coverage tonight or into tomorrow morning, you'll be guaranteed to get that notification. It doesn't work well on Facebook, so that's why it's very important for you to subscribe to our weather page over on YouTube. That way you're guaranteed to have multiple ways of receiving notification when we go live for severe weather. So if you're down in southwest Alabama, places like Monroeville, Andalusia, Mobile, Gulf Shores, even over to Pensacola, if you're down there in Florida, you need to really be paying attention to the weather late this afternoon into tonight because you're in a higher risk, an enhanced risk of severe weather down there on the Gulf Coast regions of Alabama, Northwest Florida, Mississippi, back into Louisiana, and even all the way back over toward Houston, Texas. We could see some really big thunderstorms, some damaging straight line winds, and some tornadoes. Now, that slight risk category does make it all the way up to just south of Montgomery, places like Selma, and south should pay attention there. And then the marginal risk makes it up to, maybe the Montgomery area, just a little bit north up toward Prattville, and then just general scattered thunder across East Alabama and West Georgia. Now, while we could deal with a few strong thunderstorms this evening into tomorrow morning, I think the best chance for severe weather will stay to our south, primarily along and south of the I-85 corridor. Now, thunderstorms and Mother Nature doesn't know anything about these cute little maps that we draw as humans. So we're going to be close enough to where even folks across East Alabama and West Georgia need to pay attention to the weather forecast this afternoon into tonight and watch for any possible changes in the event that the Storm Prediction Center decides to move this area of risk a little further to the north and to the east. I don't anticipate it, but it is certainly possible. So make sure you remain weather aware this afternoon. Now, I think the bigger deal here for East Alabama and West Georgia, and even up here into the North Georgia mountains, is going to be the wind gust, even away from thunderstorms, and the fact that our ground is already saturated from recent rains. So this combination is a recipe for downed trees and power lines. So it is certainly conceivable, even away from the areas that may see severe weather, we could have some problems with downed trees and power lines, and that would include all of East Alabama and West Georgia. A wind advisory will go into effect at 9 p.m. this evening for all of our coverage area across East Alabama and West Georgia for wind gusts up to 30, maybe even 40 miles per hour from time to time, away from thunderstorms. I mean, there may not even be a drop of rain falling from the sky, and all of a sudden you get a gust of 30 to 40 miles per hour. And because the ground is already saturated, trees could fall. Of course, when trees fall, that brings down power lines, and that leads to power outages. So just know that as we go into this evening, especially after midnight tonight, there could be some problems with trees falling, gusty winds, and then on top of that, we could have a few strong thunderstorms across the region. Then, as we head toward our next outlook period, which will be Wednesday, we'll see an increased risk of severe weather over a larger area, and that would be southeast Alabama, central and southern Georgia, northern Florida, up across the Carolinas, especially the coastal regions of South Carolina and North Carolina. This is on Wednesday, and this will be probably from about noon into Wednesday afternoon. If you're going to be traveling down into extreme southeastern Alabama or anywhere across central or southern Georgia, and even into Florida, we could see some more strong thunderstorms with damaging straight-line winds, and even a small spin-up tornado or two will be possible. Now, the rain will be exiting East Alabama and West Georgia probably by about 9 or 10 a.m. Wednesday morning. So any threat of strong to marginally severe storms will be pushing on off into Georgia pretty much by mid-morning tomorrow morning. And then as we head toward Thursday, look at that. No thunderstorm forecast anywhere in the entire United States on Thursday. We don't see that very often. So let's back up and look at that threat for tonight into tomorrow. This is the latest graphic from the National Weather Service office over at Birmingham. And you can see there that we have just a marginal risk basically from the Chambers County, Lee County line, just north of Auburn, back over to just north of Tallahassee, and then right along the Coosa County, Elmore County line, and the Chilton County, Autauga County line. From those points south is where the better chances of strong to marginally severe storms will be as we head into this event this evening. Now, if you go to the south and southwest of Montgomery, that green turns to yellow, and then down there around Mobile, it turns to orange. So much, much better chance of severe weather the further south and southwest you travel as we get into this event tonight and tomorrow morning. So the timing on all of this, south central Alabama, 2 a.m. through 5 a.m., and then again from about Auburn south, the best chance will be from about 4 a.m. tomorrow morning through about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning as a cold front, a line of thunderstorms, a squall line, if you will move through that area between 4 and 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And again, as you can see, north of Auburn, basically I-85, we're not anticipating storms of severe limits. We think everything will be below severe limits when it moves through. But again, we've still got about 12 hours to go before this event starts to take shape. There is time for all of this to change, so that's why I'm telling you to be weather aware today, just in the event that this changes. Current conditions at the East Alabama Bee Company. It's kind of cold to start, and it's kind of cold to be talking about severe weather. But we're going to have some warm, moist air off the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be pushed up to the north and northeast ahead of this line of storms. So it's going to warm things up some. We're looking at 30 degrees outside right now. The high yesterday was 50. We currently have clear skies. Wind is out of the north-northwest at 1, gusting to 3. Humidity is 89%. The barometric pressure, 30.36. No rain in the past 24 hours. Sunrise this morning at 6:39. Sunsets this evening at 5:07 p.m. And when you're out and about shopping, be sure you stop by M.L. Aubrey's in downtown Roanoke or Randolph Farmers Co-op up in Wedowee to pick up your East Alabama Bee Company honey. We're headed for 53 this afternoon in Roanoke. It'll be a nice day. We're talking mostly sunny through most of the day, and then as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see a few clouds increase. 53 in Ashland, Lineville, Wedowee, Woodland. Ranburne goes to 53. Sylacauga will top out at 56, and Dadeville will hit 55 degrees this afternoon. Here's your 6-day forecast from the Alpha Weather Center for your Tuesday, January 24th. 2023, a mostly sunny day. Clouds on the increase this afternoon. We'll top out at 53, down to 42 tonight. That's awfully cold to be talking about thunderstorms, but these will be elevated storms where it's actually a little warmer up in the upper levels of the atmosphere than it is at the surface. 100% chance of showers and thunderstorms anytime after about 10 or 11 p.m. this evening. We think the main line will move through somewhere around around 3, 4, 5 a.m. tomorrow morning across East Alabama, and then 6, 7, or 8 a.m. across West Georgia. A 100% chance of rain this evening. We have a wind advisory that will go into effect at 9 p.m. Central. This will be for wind gust 30, maybe even 40 miles per hour at times, even away from thunderstorms. I mean, you could just get a little shower and it will transport some of the winds from the upper levels of the atmosphere down to the ground. So typically, the heavier the rainfall, the stronger the winds will be. So this could cause some issues this evening with downed trees and power lines, even away from thunderstorms. So keep that in mind. 80% chance of rain Wednesday morning through about 9 or 10 a.m. Then the showers and storms continue to move on off into Georgia. They will exit East Alabama, and we will go back to partly sunny by Wednesday afternoon, though it's going to continue to be very breezy across the area. We'll head for 37 on Wednesday night, back to partly sunny skies on Thursday. That weather will continue on Friday and Saturday. Slow warming trend there. And then our next storm system heads our way on Sunday the 29th. A 60% chance of showers out there on Sunday. And there is some indication that we may be about to experience some more very cold air. That'll be in here maybe by Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week. And at the moment, at least, there is some indication there might be some frozen stuff out there by the early to middle part of next week. It's still way too early to start honing in on that. We'll watch that forecast for you and keep you updated here on Dr. Don's Weather. Southern Union State Community College live Doppler HD radar this morning showing our storm system off to the west. The core of this system barreling through Texas this morning. There between Midland and Abilene, Texas. That's where that cold core low is located, just south of Lubbock. And it's going to continue moving off to the northeast. And what's going to happen as we go throughout the day, all those scattered showers you see from the Alabama-Mississippi state line all the way back to around Dallas will start to fill in. And eventually we will get a trailing cold front that will be covered with a squall line that'll march across eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and eventually into East Alabama by early tomorrow morning, and that's where that line of storms will come from as we head toward tomorrow morning. So lots of snow out there this morning from Lubbock back up northwest of Wichita Falls. That's not going to affect us here in Alabama or Georgia with this storm system. However, the next one may be a little bit of a different story, as our next storm system is expected to produce a low-pressure system down in the Gulf of Mexico. You've heard me say multiple times over the years, that's the kind of system we need to get a decent snowfall across the area. And at least at the moment, there are indications that could happen. But again, I caution you, and you're going to start seeing this on Facebook today. I caution you, we're still way, way too early to start looking at details on that next storm system. Just right now, it's telling us we're going to get pretty cold toward Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, and that's really the only thing you can read into that forecast this far in advance. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We broadcast all of our weather information on Twitter, just as we do on Facebook, YouTube, and at DrDonWX.com, which is our home on the World Wide Web. We invite you to go to DrDonWX.com. Upper right-hand corner, you'll see a donate button. That's how you help support us here at Dr. Don's Weather. If you're on Facebook, we invite you to like our Facebook, share it with your friends, and send us those Facebook stars. That's another great way to support us here on Dr. Don's Weather. If you own a business such as Joey Knight down at Anchor Roofing, you can send us a message and we can have you started as a partner here on Dr. Don's Weather before we do our next weather forecast, which, if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, will be first thing tomorrow morning, unless we have to deal with severe weather tonight. And I'll see you then if that were to happen. Y'all have a great Tuesday. Bye now.